he has lost all confidence in himself. So it's not necessarily something that is just about looks. It's about the fact that he is a directionless guy who has been completely cucked and controlled by a horrendous woman. I am told he does have lots of insecurities about the fact that he's aging, about the loss of his hair, about the fact that William is now considered the heartthrob in the family, which is definitely something that he always thought was reserved for him.
But this is Harry. He doesn't know who he is anymore. Meghan has totally taken that away from him, but he also willingly gave it up. So he's completely lost, and all he's got left now to keep him company is his jealousy and bitterness. And well, I don't even really know what Harry's life goals are anymore.
Prince William's dramatic transformation on a perfect trip to Brazil has beaten a miserable Prince Harry into the ground, as the delusional Duke is furious that he's no longer the heartthrob in the Brotherhood. Look at this from the Daily Mail. How Prince William got so hot at 43, saying that the future king's new lean look is thanks to cutting down on sugar, a grueling RAF fitness regime, and the healthy breakfast he swears by. Now, I have to say, our very own royal YouTube sensation, according to Taz, has definitely been a little bit thirsty. Little bit thirsty for William this week, posting on X about this exchange. I couldn't resist. Elderly lady behind me was talking about him playing volleyball yesterday, and he was nice to watch. I said, definitely, with a wide grin. And then she said, better than the ghastly other one. I don't think she meant it about looks, but I cackled so loud. And when Chris Jackson posted these images of William saying he had a talent for volleyball, Tash replied saying, wonderful photos of Prince William playing volleyball. Where are the Speedos? Done it. And there was also more when Sabera alone posted, hot damn, that man is fine, adding, aging like a fine wine. Tash, how's your husband feeling about your Prince William love this week?
He doesn't mind. He doesn't feel threatened. But I mean, you can't blame me. I mean, seriously, that
The
man
only
is.
human, Tash.
Oh, he really, really. I mean, he's always been incredibly handsome, and he was a heartthrob when he was when he was a teenager in his 20s. But I admit he was still handsome, but he did go through a bit of a lull in his 30s, and I guess losing the adjustment of losing his hair. And I don't know. I don't know what it was. But all of a sudden, Prince William being hot is back on the map, and it's big. It's not just me. It's not just me, Dan. It's people of all ages. And that sweet, dear old woman that was behind me in the co-op honestly did make me laugh out loud. It was just the way she said it, and she was enjoying watching Prince William. So this is fun for all the ages, is all I'm going to say.
What is so interesting about this, though, Tash, is that Harry is really struggling with this because he doesn't know what to do about the hair. He's definitely tried some thickening treatments. I mean, you pointed out, Tash, he's even now sort of cosplaying identical William images. Like he saw that image of William on the boat, and so he had to do his own. But the difference is a lot of being a heartthrob, I think, is about being confident in yourself. And Harry, and I obviously have no sympathy for him, Tash, I'm very clear on that, but he has lost all confidence in himself. So it's not necessarily something that is just about looks. It's about the fact that he is a directionless guy who has been completely cucked and controlled by a horrendous woman. And so, sure, he might have, and I am told he does have lots of insecurities about the fact that he's aging, about the loss of his hair, about the fact that William is now considered the heartthrob in the family, which is definitely something that he always thought was reserved for him. But to me, actually, it's a much deeper thing. It goes much deeper than just an external appearance. It's about the fact that his confidence has been smashed. Okay, half of you watching this are not subscribed to Dan Wootton Outspoken, and the best way you can support what we do is by hitting that subscribe button. It is completely free, and turn on the notification bell to be alerted to our new episodes.
I mean, you can see with Harry, he was a lot more confident on the stage. Harry, 2015, 2016, and it's been a steady decline. Well, quite a rapid decline, in all honesty. Yes, of course, we all age, but Harry seems to have aged, incredibly quickly since he met Meghan. He was always very confident, and he used to be a laugh, and I think that was something that also used to make him come across as attractive as well, because he was very playful. He was, the playboy prince a little bit, I guess, like many years ago, Prince Andrew, or Andrew Mountbatten Windsor was. And he has become a shell of the person that he was. It's not just his humor, but his ability to laugh, his ability to just be grateful for everything that he has been given in his life. Harry now is a completely miserable person. He's completely ungrateful, and his jealousy of his brother is honestly painful to watch. And for those boat pictures, Prince William looks handsome because he's laughing with people, or at that moment, he was just on the front of the boat looking towards the island that they were going towards. It's a lovely photograph, but it was a natural photograph. Harry's are so staged. The way that he's trying to look off into the distance, like the cameraman is not on that boat mere feet away from him. No wonder the other two people on that boat looked embarrassed. They obviously didn't appreciate having a photographer on the boat taking these pictures of Harry. The poor girl's trying to hide her face in the corner. But this is Harry. He doesn't know who he is anymore. Meghan has totally taken that away from him, but he also willingly gave it up. So he's completely lost, and all he's got left now to keep him company is his jealousy and bitterness. And well, I don't even really know what Harry's life goals are anymore, apart from to completely make a fool of himself.
Shall we have a look at how the Daily Mail says William has achieved this transformation, Tash?
Yes, please.
Okay. Adoring female fans, they write, couldn't get enough of Prince William in Brazil this week. Wonder who they're talking about. As social media was full of praise for the sexy royal's athletic physique following a sweaty game of volleyball on the beach. Tanned and sporting a trimmed beard, the father of three was also notably looking to be in great shape as he whizzed around the sandy terrain to get the ball over the net, proving that being in his 40s hasn't slowed him down one bit. Inspiration for me. It's understood that William has been fond of the Royal Canadian Air Force 5BX workout. According to the Telegraph, the Prince completed the basic exercises designed to keep cadets fit, even if they don't have access to equipment. And this was a plan that was very popular in the 1960s. But it is also understood he is a keen runner. In 2023, telling interviewers that he had enjoyed a morning jog in New York Central Park when he was there for the Earthshot regime. British rapper Stormzy also revealed he had bumped into William at the gym in 2019. He said, yeah, I was just walking up the stairs and someone was like, Stormzy. And I was like, whoa, what's going on, Prince? I swear down, I just bumped into him. It was at the time reported the gym in question was Chelsea Harbour Club, a luxurious fitness hub with swimming pools, tennis courts, a spa, and bespoke exercises. Reports claim the joining fee alone is some £1,880. During a trip to Cornwall's Newquay Orchard recently, William explained he has a healthy start to the day by eating 2 eggs and wholemeal toast with butter, adding that he enjoyed apple juice and a cup of tea with milk and sugar alongside it. He did admit, though, he was trying to cut down on sugar before revealing he had a rubbish sandwich for lunch that day while enjoying fish and mushrooms for dinner. He said he doesn't drink coffee, drinks 2 or 3 cups of tea a day, as well as enjoying snacks like bananas and chocolate biscuits or brownies. Meanwhile, the royal added he might have a glass of red wine each day. Natasha, there are the secrets.
That's not a pretty bad diet, really. And I mean, when it comes to Prince William's fitness, he's always been fit and sporty, and Catherine as well. Whilst people have been really unkind about how slim she is, you only have to look at Catherine's actual physique. You can see how muscular she is. So they both obviously are very active. They both love the outdoors. I mean, you're teasing me right now, Dan. I mean, all of these pictures of Prince William playing volleyball and stuff. But I do think that they both take their fitness seriously. It's clearly obvious that Prince William does a lot of exercise, shall we say. But cutting down sugar, that's nothing new. I think people, especially with Catherine recovering from cancer. But yeah, if you want to look like Prince William, guys, there you go. There's the diet in front of you. But it was interesting to hear that he does the RAF workout, because I'm pretty certain I've read that Prince Philip used to swear by that, and that's what he used to do to help keep him fit right up until sort of like his later years.
That's really interesting, isn't it? Tash, there were a lot of people also loving Jason Canalf alongside Prince William
Yeah.
in Brazil. There was a picture about he was right there by his side. What I found more interesting about this, Tash, though, is the fact that William was making a very public comment to the world about the fact that Jason Canalf is still his number one ally. And a reminder to those who may not have followed closely, Jason Canalf was the man who blew the whistle to the world on Meghan Markle's bullying. So any suggestion that there is going to be a thaw between William and Harry are wrong. Those people saying that are wrong, because there's not. As long as Jason Canalf remains the number one ally, it's not happening.
No, I mean, to be reminded of what Harry and Meghan both did to members of staff, they've still never once apologized or seen any wrong in what they did, no matter how many people that have come out and spoken about them, obviously, since moving away from the palace. And Jason Knuff obviously earned a lot of people's respects because he did stand up to them. He didn't care. He did go straight to Prince William. And I think Prince William protecting the staff has always been a big factor. I think that's what split the foundation in the first instance when he learned that Meghan was being terrible to people. And it's, I think, with Jason still being heavily involved, the fact that he is now such a big part of the Earthshot Prize shows that Prince William really values him and has a lot of trust and confidence in him. And I think we're going to continue to see Jason at Prince William's side, probably even when he becomes king. He has been a very loyal confidant, as well as obviously ensuring that the staff were protected. So I mean, there's all these stories that constantly come out about Harry coming back and how the public will accept him. And, you know, Prince William will never accept his brother back. Do you think the staff would ever want Harry back? I mean, they've never once ever had a moment of reflection and thought, well, maybe we shouldn't treat people so badly. But they all they've done is blame the staff and said it was the staff smearing them.
There were some other really fascinating moments, Tash, in Brazil this week. Obviously, I guess the picture that probably got the most attention was Prince William in that same spot as Princess Diana all of those years ago. And Tash, you were very touched by this. You wrote, Brazil loved his mother's visit just as much as they love his. She would be so proud of everything that he has achieved and everything that he will continue to do. But there's just such a difference, Tash, isn't there, when William pays tribute to Diana? It's always done subtly and with class and dignity. I have no doubt he would have been thinking about his mum at that moment. But first, as we get older, you notice it. After a cold day, hard workout, even a long week, recovery just isn't as quick as it used to be, right? That bounce back factor matters. And it turns out the secret isn't luck, it's stem cells, your body's built-in repair crew. With age, that system slows down. Fewer cells, weaker signals, slower recovery. That's exactly why Qualia created Qualia Stem Cell. Think of it this way. Your cells are powerful. Qualia Stem Cell helps keep them that way. It's crafted with nature's heavy lifters, sea buckthorn, royal jelly, and more to support your body's natural repair system so you can keep moving, healing, and thriving. You don't have to accept slowing down. This is about supporting better aging by reactivating the systems that help you bounce back. And it's refreshingly simple. You take it just 4 days a month. So if you've ever felt like your body just doesn't bounce back like it used to, whether it's after a tough workout, getting sick, or just the wear and tear of life, this is for you. Qualia Stem Cell was designed to support your body's natural repair systems, helping you heal, recover, and keep going strong. And right now, you can try it for up to 50% off at qualialife.com/Dan. And here's a bonus. Use the code Dan for an additional 15% off your order. So that's QUALIA life.com/Dan. Your body's built to repair itself. Qualia just helps it do it that better. And a big thanks, by the way, to Qualia for sponsoring this episode of Outspoken. But now, back to the show.
Yes, of course. I mean, this is a very, very big difference with Harry and William's attitude to their mum. Harry, I believe, has really, really used Diana. Sold sold many memories of her. And when Harry talks about Diana, people just kind of switch off. But Prince William has stood by what he said many years ago. He would only rarely speak about his mum. So when he does say something, when he does give a sweet nod, or he does have a conversation, or where he appreciates that people admired and respected his mum, it has so much more of a meaningful impact because he is talking about her in such an honorable way. Whereas Harry, I believe, has sold his mother's memory down the river. I mean, I've lost count of the amount of stunts with Meghan dressing like her and Archie being used to touch pictures of Diana. And there's so many things that they've done that people have actually got sick of hearing about Diana. And Prince William has stayed true to just honoring his mother occasionally. And as I said, when he does, it's more meaningful.
Then, Tash, you also looked at the difference between William and Harry in terms of what they actually do, on the ground when it comes to humanitarian issues. And this was your post, Tash. You say Prince William protects the indigenous people and their defenders in the Amazon who are trying to save it, whereas Harry backs African parks whose rangers commit crimes against the indigenous people as they try to control and remove them from their land. They are not the same. Tash, explain.
Well, African parks, we learnt fairly recently that they have just been kicked out of, I think it was Chad, because the money
Yes,
has not been
correct.
going to the communities. It's not been going to the indigenous people. And the rangers that are working for African parks in Chad were not given protective equipment. They weren't given the right training. If anything, the conservation has actually failed out there. They haven't managed to stop poachers. The money is going into offshore accounts. Then, with the more sinister term with African parks, you have what has come out that the rangers have been committing atrocious crimes towards the Baka people in the Congo. And I mean, it's absolutely horrific what they were accused of. Harry was aware of it all and still is on the board of directors promoting them. But when it comes to African parks, the difference is it's what many people have said as a colonialist approach. The land, the people are managed by boards of rich people, boards of directors that tell people they take over, they remove people from their lands because they're saying this is how it should be done. Whereas Prince William has long fought against Harry, even before Meghan came on the scene. He believes that money, time, education should be given to the people, that the indigenous people on the lands that they protect, and give them the education to help them learn new ways to earn money, to be able to protect their lands, to be able to do conservation, to be able to turn it into profit for them. Because a lot of the times, this is taken away from people, how they earn their living, how are they expected to survive. And this is what Prince William's just getting involved with the Amazon. It's about helping the indigenous people protect their own land. Whereas Harry's attitude, as I said, it's the colonialist approach. It's takeover, it's controlled by a rich board of directors. And the people that suffer the most are the indigenous people. They are polar opposites of the way that they believe in conservation.
Tash, there was a lot of anger this week about Prince Harry's truly pathetic attempt to overshadow what is one of the most important events for William, which has been on the calendar for such a long time. I mean, you were one of the people expressing rage. You posted predictable bell end. Of course, he'd pull a stunt this week. Harry announces the trip, of course, just as the Earthshot prize is staged, and you said, absolute jealous little twat is never going to stop doing this to Prince William. Wonder if he'll wear his Dodgers baseball cap, referring to the fact that actually the Canadians are furious with Harry at the moment, so this wasn't even great timing for him. What I think is interesting in hindsight, Tash, and this is going to burn Harry and this is going to hurt Harry, he didn't overshadow the trip, actually. William's operation when it comes to the Earthshot prize is so impressive. You think about the celebrities there, you think about the glamour, but it's all balanced, of course, with what the mission is. And Harry just looked a little bit embarrassing, as you said, attempting to almost like use the Canadian veterans, clearly didn't really give a damn. And I don't think it worked.
Everybody knew that Harry was going to make an appearance. The reason why I say this is because this is the 4th consecutive year that Harry has pulled a PR stunt on the Earthshot prize. 4 years consecutively. I think it was, they blame Netflix for it, but I think it was, well, 4 years ago, it was their trailer for their attack on the royal family. Their docuseries was dropped on the Earthshot prize. Harry has made an appearance at a charity event, I think for Scotty's Little Soldiers. You know, it was a video was uploaded. Then you've got what was it more recently last year? I think it was oh gosh, my brain now, I can't think, but he did something last year with Cape Town. That was it. It was the Pat Tillman Awards. How could I forget that? Where another undeserving accolade that he got that even Pat Tillman's mother didn't want him to have. It was obvious that Harry was going to make an appearance, and that's where it backfires on him. People can predict his every move, and it just makes him look sad, bitter, and jealous. And it's so sad that he uses this time of year, which he preaches and tells people means so much to him, but he uses it as a way to rub the royal family's face in it. You know, it's no different to shutting down that LA cemetery all those years ago when they walked over the graves of US soldiers and Canadian soldiers because they wanted to pose because the Queen wouldn't let Harry lay a wreath. Harry uses this time of year, and there were people saying, oh, well, he is supporting the veterans. You know, it is the lead up to Remembrance. Yes, it's the lead up to Remembrance. So why did they do the announcement the moment that Prince William arrived in Brazil and had his first event? He timed the announcement that he was going to drop then. And then, of course, his first appearances on the day of the actual Earthshot prize. Remembrance is on the 11th in Canada. He could have gone after the weekend. He could have gone at the weekend. He could have gone on different days, but he's timed it perfectly as he has done the previous 3 years. It's just pathetic.
It is pathetic. And what's becoming more pathetic, Tash, is that even his big statements now where he thinks that he's making a real stand and putting us all right barely cause a ripple, because the problem is if you become the boy who cried wolf, if you lie so often that we know virtually everything you say is a lie, then it's meaningless. Your statements are meaningless. And he has overused these statements right back from when he first met Meghan Markle and, remember, made that false claim that the coverage of her was racist. And that was an international sensation. Now there's barely a ripple. So this was him issuing a defiant statement, the Daily Mail said, as he denies claim he was trying to upstage William by announcing pseudo royal Canada trip at the same time as his brother's 5-day tour of Brazil. Let me take you through this, Tash. The clash was obviously labelled predictable, but in a statement, Harry's team blamed the timing. And of course, it always comes back to his pathetic moans about security. Mate, you chose to be a private citizen. But anyway, The fact he is not afforded the same level of security and protection as other working members of the royal family, it means therefore that the period of time in which we can release details of events is much more truncated than it is for His Majesty the King or the Prince of Wales. Royal commentator Victoria Arbiter said the timing of Harry's announcement was inevitable, if not predictable, but a spokesman for the Duke of Sussex has hit back, declaring the events were planned nearly a year ago. The date of the main event, the dinner, is set by the charity, not Prince Harry. The period of remembrance traditionally extends from the 1st to the 11th November and has done since 1918, over 100 years. He can't choose to move those dates. We are always guided as to when we can announce trips like this by the advice given to us by his private security advisors and the event's security team. This visit, months in the planning, marks a return to the city that has a special place in the Duke's heart, having played host to the Invictus Games back in 2017. Now, I'm glad these annoying statements, Tash, are basically being dismissed now. But I've just got to point out my absolute frustration at the fact that he is comparing himself to being a working member of the royal family.
You saw that too. Yep.
What? You're not. You're a private citizen, 2-bit celebrity. This was the choice that you made. This is not a quasi-royal tour. This is just you making a trip. That is it.
And he had to get a swipe in about his security being different. I mean, that just undermines it anyway. It was just another opportunity for Harry to just, as I said, it's a clapback. It's a clapback. I mean, it's pretty obvious to everyone that I'm sorry that he has timed this deliberately because he's done it every year. And
exactly. And they said the trip's been planned for exactly a year, which means, Tash, it was exactly a year after the last one.
Yeah. Of course it was. Of course it was. And he also knows, even if it wasn't Earthshot Prize, he also knows that his family will be out paying their respects at various commemorative events. So it's just laughable that he puts out it's kind of an imperious statement, isn't it? I mean, the fact that they felt the need, this has actually been this way for 100 years and he can't move those dates. It's like, did Harry write that? It's just got that real kind of arrogance edge to it. And nobody believes him. Everybody's heard his little rants. And as I said, the fact that he felt the need to say other working royals, such as His Majesty and the Prince of Wales, you're like, that's implying that you're a working royal. I remember the Freedom Flight. I remember Netflix. I remember Sparrow. I remember Oprah. I remember every single detail of Harry declaring Megxit. And I know he doesn't like that expression, but tough. He tried to burn down the monarchy and quit. And he did it in such a way, I cannot imagine the stress that it put on Her late Majesty. So now he's trying to do the old switcheroo and tell us he cares so much about the UK. And he is, in fact, still to be considered a working royal alongside his father and his brother. No, you are not.
100%. 100%. According to Taz, royal YouTube sensation, she always gets it right. Make sure you subscribe to her brilliant channel on YouTube, according to Taz, for all the best royal analysis. But we love having her as part of our Outspoken family as well. Tash, thank you so much. And of course, if you do want to watch the Royal Uncancelled After Show every single weekday here on Outspoken, twice the length as what you've just watched, then do subscribe to my Substack, www.outspoken.live. Paid monthly or annual subscribers get first access to the Royal Uncancelled After Show Monday to Friday. No advertising whatsoever. You can watch live or on demand. Substack's an amazing platform, free speech orientated. You can message me directly on there. Please, if you do want to support what I do here at Outspoken, that is the best way you can do so. The address, www.outspoken.live. Thank you so much for watching Dan Wootton Outspoken. Please click on my face just to the bottom left to subscribe to this brand new independent news source and turn on the notification bell so you'll be alerted to our brand new live shows, uncancelled interviews, and special royal episodes. Outspoken is also now available as a podcast, so you can listen to the show every weekday on the go, wherever you are.